Look at those beautiful layers right there. If you don't know about layers, I literally have so many videos on YouTube here about layering. But layering is a technique that's designed to remove weight and also create this shape. So there's two ways that you can accentuate your layers, especially if you want them to look more feathered. Okay, so a lot of times people may have layers and they just hide them by combing it all straight down or pushing it down like this. It ends up looking not really like a flow, but just hair sitting there on top of your head. What you can do is, while your hair is maybe a little bit damp, or even, while it's dry, I would suggest spraying in a little, maybe like 1 or 2 spritzes of Tidal Wave. You can do one of two things. You can use your fingers to rake it back. Now, I did a video recently on using your fingers as a hairstyling tool. The thing about your fingers is you see the width, right? You can only, or else it's not going to grab the hair. So you have to space out your fingers. It gives it such a wide spacing that you can see the hairs collapsing. That's where this comes in handy. This is a new carbon wide tooth comb that I now have on my website, shop.thesalonguy.com, and I think it's like $8. Listen, I mean, this thing is solid, okay? It's not cheap, this thing is very, very good, and that's why I invested in having these made. So what you want to do is you're going to take the comb, and this works really good while the hair is slightly damp with Tidal Wave, because the Tidal Wave is going to really just help kind of seal this in. So watch what happens when I rake through like this. See how it separates the hair beautifully, and look how it holds these layers back like this. If you were to use a hair cutting comb, it's going to be it's not going to show off the flow in each individual layer as good as something like this, all right? Even my vent brush works really, really well. However, I'm super stoked about this new comb right here. So the key is the technique. Now, if you lay the comb like this on the head, so it's directly like this, and you rake back like that, that's one option to do it, okay? However, you could see it creates, again, more of a separated pattern. What you need to do is, the flatter you lay the comb, so here it's straight up, now it's totally flat. The flatter you lay this to the head, the tighter and the more accentuated like this, it's going to keep the layers and keep them back. So like this, flat, it brings it back, it just makes it a little bit looser, okay? It makes it a little bit looser, however, it's still really, really nice. The flatter you keep this to the head, you're gonna see the tighter it's gonna be, but you're gonna have a little more control over it, and it's gonna hold better, okay? So if you have a hairstyle like this, and you really, 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 really wanna showcase these layers, then this is what I suggest. Here from the front angle, this is it straight back like that, okay? And then this is when it's flat on the head and going back. So it gives it a little bit of a tighter type of feel, but you're still getting that separation. Now this, obviously, the mannequin head is a little bit longer. So just imagine if you had a shorter hairstyle and you really wanted to accentuate those layers. I mean, look how nice this looks in through here. So this really is gonna, that's why I invested in these, because I know as a stylist what this is going to do. So for those feathered haircuts, for those longer hairstyles that you want to look and see some of that separation and really accentuate these layers. Now, how do you get these layers? Well, it's simply, the haircut. The person cutting your hair, they really need to understand and know how to execute something like this, because really it's just a technique. And I have hundreds upon hundreds of videos here on YouTube demonstrating how to create layers. So a layer, as you can see, let's just take this front piece, right? Here's the length, and here's the length here. So this falls on top. So when I bring this back, this piece goes around right here. Yes, the layers are a bit longer, however, it's still layered. So that allows the hair to be able to move freely like this and stay back. If I didn't have any layers in here, then the hair would just flop down, and if I didn't use this brush correctly. So the difference is, when I go like this with my hands, look what happens, it flops down. So you absolutely need, and this is, again, coming from myself, a stylist for over 30 years, learning about tools like this. And I couldn't find a good quality comb. A lot of them are just really, snap in half. This thing, I'm telling you, bam, this thing is solid. Solid. Great, great, great quality for a really affordable price. So, and also, don't forget, if you use code YouTube20, that's YouTube20 at shop.thesalonguy.com, you get 20% off. Now, really, really exciting news that I'm going to be launching. I've been working night and day on this. There's so many things I'm working on right now. But I'm launching my official online course platform. And the reason is because this is going to be a dedicated, let's just call it home, for videos that are really going to be super in-depth education. Now, what I post around YouTube, it's great. Sometimes you have to deal with ads. I kind of have a different approach to it. My audience is, very mixed. This is really going to be dedicated to people who are either, hair professionals, whether you're a hairstylist, a barber, or you want to learn so much about hair cutting that you can invest in something like this and even potentially, cut hair for your family at home. And I get so many requests, from people saying like, oh man, do you have any videos that we can really watch and learn from beyond YouTube? So this really is going to be amazing. I'm also going to be offering a certification to professionals that they're going to have to invest in, where I'm sharing how to cut hair like I do. So I know a lot of you are always asking, Salon Guy, who cuts hair like you in, this state or that state? I'm like, I have no idea. So I'm going to be releasing a certification so that I can suggest these people, these professionals, to you as a client. Say, hey, look, they took my course, they're certified, and they are going to get as close as you possibly can to cutting like me. So I'm really, really excited about it. I could launch it right now, and I've got, I believe, 6 courses on there, and they're going to range from, a full woman's, layered haircut, a, men's perfect layered haircut, how to, use brushes, how to build, a clientele, how to build a brand on social media, like really, really topics that are going to be a mix, fairly, like some kind of like pop-up content that anyone can learn from, like some really cool tips. And then there's other ones who are really, the entrepreneurship, someone who, again, is a dedicated professional. And I'm really, really looking forward to this. So, again, this is all information that I've been building up over the last 30 years that I'm going to be sharing with people who want to invest in it. And that's it. So I'm really excited. Thank you all for your support. I hope you enjoy this video, and I'll see you soon.